All right, you know what it is. It's Monday, 5:30, and it's time for Two a Day. I'm your host, Michael Bumpus. This segment is brought to you by Alaska Airlines, as usual. And it was a big weekend for the Hawks, right? They had their mock game. It was closed to the public, obviously. You're not allowed at practice. You're not allowed at CenturyLink to the game. But it was a good weekend. But before I answer your questions, what's up, Pascal Washington? I see you. Before I answer your questions, got to go with my observations first. Now, I'm going to center my observations on this weekend, the mock game. Now, let me remind you, I can't give you like details like, oh, they were in this formation and the defense did this scheme. And I can't give you all that because Pete Carroll always wants us to protect the team. So I will give you some vanilla stuff. Flores, what's up? Back in here. I see you. All right. I will give you some vanilla stuff. All right. It's vanilla, but I think you'll get something out of it. All right. First observation. I was at the mock game. No fans. Okay. But there was noise pumped into the stadium, which I thought was going to be kind of weird at first. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect. I'm sitting in the booth. I'm looking around. There's no fans, but you hear the noise. And at some point, it just fades away. Like, it's there, but you don't really acknowledge it. It's part of the game. It's like when you go to CenturyLink and you're watching the game, in between plays, there's always chatter, right? There's always chatter going on, but you don't really pay attention to it. And that's what it kind of got to me. I knew it was there. When I wanted to hear it, I heard it. But when I didn't, it was just part of the atmosphere, which I thought was pretty cool. I thought that I would really pay attention to it and it would affect something. I don't know. I didn't know what to expect, but it wasn't a big deal at all. It wasn't a big deal. Now, today, I was on Q13 covering the Seahawks training camp, and Aaron Levine, who's the guy who runs the show, is a great dude, Aaron Levine. He mentioned that the NFL is saying that if you're pumping in crowd noise, it has to be the same level throughout the game. That means the noise can't go higher, can't go lower. It has to be the same level throughout the whole game. You and I know that's not how CenturyLink works. You guys, the 12s, give a great home field advantage. Great home field advantage because you guys are smart. You guys know, hey, 3rd and 2, our defense needs us to get hyped up. Okay, you know, 3rd and long, 3rd and regular, the offense needs quiet. Russell needs to work. So I don't like it. It's not realistic. CenturyLink is one of the loudest stadiums in the country. I think this is my proposal. You guys let me know if I'm tripping or not, right? Okay, my proposal is you go to a Monday night football game, a Thursday night game, any primetime game, and they record the decimals of certain situations. 3rd down for the offense, 3rd down for the defense, a big play, a touchdown. And you record those decimals, and whenever a play like that happens, you hit the button and boom, you go to those decimals, right? So it's more realistic. I don't know how difficult that is. I'm not a audio engineer guy. That's not what I do. I just throw out crazy suggestions, and that's what I think they should do. So the noise thing wasn't an issue. It seemed regular to me. It seemed appropriate. Now it's just how are they going to regulate those levels? If they keep with the restrictions that the NFL is proposing, keeping the noise at a certain level, then I don't know, it just gets weird. Then there's no real home field advantage. And we all know that the Hawks kind of struggled at home last year. Okay. 7-1 on the road. Struggled at home a little bit. Okay. Struggled a bit, but it's all good. Okay. So that was my first observation. My second observation is Russell Wilson's ready to go. He went 8 for 13 in 2 drives, only 2 drives, okay? During those 2 drives, he connected with Tyler Lockett 4 times. We talked about DK possibly being a number 1 eventually. As of now, it's still Tyler Lockett, and I think that's the way it should be. Tyler Lockett has the bigger body of work. He's shown that he can get it done. Why deviate from him now? Now, I think DK's ceiling might be a little higher. Right now, Tyler's your best option. 4 catches. Whenever you're in doubt, he's throwing it to number 16. Okay. Olsen had 2 catches and 1 for a touchdown. Now, I can't tell you exactly what the play was on that touchdown, but he showed his burners. He got those knees up. It was a little run after catch. Okay. Olsen looked good. There were a couple of times where Olsen and Wilson weren't on the same page, and it was just a chemistry thing. I couldn't even overreact to it. It just looked like a chemistry thing. The more they work together, the more they learn each other, the easier that connection is going to be. But he did have 2 receptions, all right, and 1 was for a touchdown. DK had 1 reception for a touchdown. He did have a drop, It wasn't the easiest football to catch. I feel like he still should have caught it, but he did have a drop. But he did have a touchdown in the back of the end zone. That connection is looking solid. Okay, and then you have Philip Dorsett had one reception. He had one reception, but man, he missed the ball, or they didn't connect on a football or a pass to where it would have been a big play. It would have been about a 35, 40-yard gain. And it was just another, again, chemistry thing. You can tell when Russell's working with DK and he's working with Lockett, he understands what they're trying to do. Now, the Dorsett and Olsen connection, it's just going to take more reps. Thankfully, there's a couple more weeks left in camp. No rush, no need to panic right now. But I saw the offense do some things that I haven't seen them do in a long time, and things that they don't do too often. Again, I can't tell you exactly what it is, but just know they are getting creative on offense, okay? Now that second unit, my guy, John Ursua, had 2 catches. Nice to see him working in. I think he got some snaps with the 1s and the 2s. Hollister had 1 catch and 4 touchdowns. That was against the number 1 defense. Now we're talking about Greg Olsen. We're talking about Disley. We cannot forget about Jacob Hollister, who was the 3rd leading receiver on this team last year. First drive, he goes out there, makes a play, touchdown. Hollister, he's reminding us, do not forget about me. I know there's the tight end room is full. I know that is deep, but let's not forget what Jacob Hollister did for this team last year. And he continues to make plays. That was encouraging. Travis Homer had a catch. But the receiver who impressed me the most on Saturday, all you Dog fans, where you at? UW Dogs, where you at? Aaron Fuller. Aaron Fuller made some plays. He had 3 or 4 receptions, and they were tough catches. One was on the sideline, one's over the shoulder. He looked comfortable out there. Now, I know he's a long shot to make the team. Obviously, he's an undrafted free agent, but he's making a case. He is making a case for himself to be on this roster. I still don't think he is. I still like he has to do a lot more, but every opportunity he had to make a play, that young man made a play. And I was happy to see that. As you know, or if you don't know, I was an undrafted free agent. So I know how important it is for him to make plays. And that young man made some plays. I'm happy for that dude. Okay. Also on offense, DJ Dallas is looking good, folks. He's looking strong. He looks thick. He's getting to that second level. He's finishing runs. I believe they're going to use him in the pass game. He could be what everyone wanted CJ Prosise to be. Right? CJ Prosise dynamic, but just couldn't stay healthy. I think DJ Dallas could be what they wanted CJ Prosise to be. Really excited about that young man. Let's not forget, DJ Dallas played receiver initially at the University of Miami. He can return kicks as well. He doesn't have a lot of wear and tear on his body. He split reps his whole career. I'm feeling DJ Dallas right now. You look at that linebacker room. Not linebacker, running back room. Of course, you got Carson, you got Penny, you got DJ, you got Travis Homer, you got Carlos Hyde. Hyde looked good. I mean, it's looking really good. DJ Dallas could be what they wanted CJ Prosise to be. Very encouraged by that young man. Okay, let's go over to the defense. Jamal Adams is for real. Now, we already knew he was for real, right? Track record speaks for itself. Been to the Pro Bowl. All-Pro selection. This guy looks good. Flying around, making plays, had a tackle for loss, could have sacked the quarterback, but of course, we don't touch the guys in the red jersey, especially when his name is Russell Wilson. You don't touch him. Now, again, I can't tell you exactly what they were doing on the defense because the shield says you must protect the team, and I don't want to give any goodies away. But I'll tell you one thing. They're dynamic on defense. It looks like they're switching some things up. They're doing some things that we didn't see often last year. They're still going to play. They're still going to be the Seahawks. They're still going to be that Pete Carroll defense, but they're doing some things. And that's encouraging because why bring over Jamal Adams if you're not going to mix it up a little bit? What I saw out of Jamal Adams, man, made me a believer. I already was a believer because I've seen the young man play, but it's nice to see him do it wearing blue. You feel me? All right. What else? Marquise Blair was out there making plays as well. Out there making plays. Didn't give up anything over the top. Exactly where he needs to be. If his assignment was a flat, he was in a flat. If his assignment was manned up, he was manned up. That young man looks good. All right, second year in the league. I'm telling you, that first year to second year jump, It slows down a bit, and it really looks like it is for Marquise Blair. And we know the aggressiveness and the attitude that he plays with. I love it. Now he's learning how to bottle all that up and make plays when he needs to make them. I'm feeling Marquise Blair right now as well. Okay? Cody Barton. All right, we're gonna talk about Jordan Brooks. He's gonna get opportunities. We're gonna talk about Bobby Wagner. We're gonna talk about KJ Wright. All right. Cody Barton had a solid day. Very solid day. Always around the football. He's in command of that defense. He's making his calls. He doesn't look timid. He was in complete control of that second unit with that defense. And mind you, they're going up against the number one offense. And that young man was making plays. Cody Barton looks like he has settled down into this defense and understands exactly what this defense wants from him. What I love about Cody Barton is just the intensity that he plays with. You know, there are some guys where you just feel the intensity that's oozing out of their bodies. Cody Barton lines up and he's locked in. It just feels like he wants to make a play. All right, I'm loving when I see that of Cody Barton. Brian Monet. Poona Ford was banged up. Jaron Reed was banged up a little bit. Brian Monet got into the mix. Now, I don't think he had any tackles, but he did exactly what you want interior linemen to do, which is hold guys up. All right, we talked about this last week. Just hold guys up. Let the linebackers work. Guess who was behind them working? Cody Barton. One of the reasons why Cody Barton could work, because guys like Brian Monet was holding guys up. Okay, he has a chance. Now, he's competing with some guys, but I think this young man has a chance. All right. Overall, the defense looks solid. Number one defense looked good. Number two defense looks solid. The number one offense looked good. The number two offense looks solid. Now, there's only a half being played because, as you guys know, Brandon Jackson got mixed up a bit and was knocked unconscious. So Pete did the right thing to say, you know what? We're done. I've seen enough. But I like what I'm seeing out of this team. Now, we have to keep it in perspective, right? They're playing against each other. They're not going to take each other to the ground. But you felt the intensity. You felt like guys wanted to be out there. Okay, they even ran out the tunnel with the 12 flag. I mean, they did a good job of trying to make this really feel like a preseason game. I spoke to Trey Flowers the day before, and that's what he said. He goes, man, this is go time. This is my preseason game. I'm coming out there. I'm competing. I'm trying to show this team what I have. And I feel like the Hawks did a good job of getting these guys pumped up. Now, again, I'm up in the booth. I can't hear what the coaches are saying. All I have is body language and effort. And the body language was great, and the effort was there. So that tells me that the coaching staff did a great job of putting this game in perspective. Like, look, you older guys, you're knocking the cobwebs off. All right, you're getting going. You young guys, you guys got to go out there and make plays, but take care of your teammates as well because we're gonna need these guys. Now, my offensive lineman observation. I was up there with Big Ray Roberts, one of my closest friends. Big Ray. Whenever I got questions about the line, I got to go to Big Ray. Okay. And he said, Damian Lewis looks good. He says he doesn't look like he's going to pop you, but he looks like he's going to control you. He liked his first step. He liked his hand placements. He liked his feet. And he feels like he was in control of the situation. He wasn't going out playing reckless, just trying to hit people. He had an agenda. He had a job to do, and he did his job efficiently. And that's what you want. You know the running backs that this team has. If those linemen can get to that second level and give them just a split second to bust the game open, that's exactly what they're going to do. Damian Lewis looks like he was in control. Ethan Posick looked like he was in control. Now, you know the Hawks brought over Finney to compete at that spot. Right now, I would take Posick over Finney. Keep Finney on the roster, of course, because you need backups. But as of today, on August 24th, I am taking Posick at that center spot. Okay? So, those were my observations from the mock game on Saturday. One of my coaches hit me up. He goes, I'm so old. I remember when they called those scrimmages. Yeah, it's a scrimmage. All right. But the Hawks call it mock game, so we're going to call it a mock game. Okay, now that I got all my nonsense out the way, what do you have for me, 12s? What questions? Here we go. Where do you think Earl Thomas will end up and for how much? Earl Thomas, he wants to end up in Dallas. That's where he's from. You guys already know. You've seen the clip when he's in the tunnel. He goes to Garrett and says, hey, come get me. How much is he going to want? He's not going to get that 20 mil. He's not going to get that 10 mil guaranteed that he just threw away with the Ravens. He's going to go from a deal. How much? I don't know. All depends on salary cap and all that. And I haven't looked at Dallas's numbers. You know who probably has the answer for that? John Clayton. Whenever I have questions about salary cap, John Clayton's the dude. All right, I'll look up the Cowboys salary cap and see what's going on there. But Earl Thomas, 12s, don't need him. Okay, you got Quandre, you got Jamal, you have Marquise Blair backing them up, you got Ugo Amadi backing them. They're good at the safety spot. And this team is such in a good place as far as relationships and effort. It's like kumbaya over there. Okay? Earl Thomas is going to be in the Hall of Fame. Earl Thomas is responsible for changing the culture with the Seattle Seahawks. But I think he's at a point now where Earl just needs to take some time off, reevaluate what's going on, and really just focus on being a good ball player, a good husband, good father. Because obviously there's some stuff going on there, and I'm not in the Baltimore training camp, so I don't know. But when a guy starts behaving the way that he's behaving, there's something going on. It could be deeper than you and I could ever understand. But Hawks don't need him and wish him the best of luck. You hear Pete Carroll talk about him and just say that it's unfortunate. He feels bad for him. He wishes him luck. That's all we can do at this point. Hawks don't need him. Wish him luck though. All right, next question. Were they allowed to actually make tackles during the mock game? No. But they were allowed to hit and wrap up. Like, these are professionals. They're going to take care of it. It's something called a thud. If you play football in any level, you know what thud is. Thud is when there's tough impact, but you're not taken to the ground. Obviously, you have to hit to protect yourself, but you're wrapping up, and they're blowing the whistle. And, of course, the quarterbacks ain't getting touched. Can't touch the pretty boys. Can't touch the quarterbacks, especially number 3. Can't do it. But it's not like they're out there playing patty cake neither. Okay, the offensive linemen, they're dang near full speed. All right, you can't fake that. All right. On defense, once you get to the point of attack, you pop, you wrap them up, they're going to blow the whistle quick, you let them go. So no one actually went to the ground. There were a couple times where guys go to the ground because it's impossible to just be flawless when it comes to that, because this is a contact sport, right? But for the most part, they took care of each other. All right. That was from Mello. Ben Burr-Kirven, Ben Day 91. How does Ben Burr-Kirven look? He looks good. He looks like a backup linebacker, but he looks like a guy who's going to lead on special teams because of his motor. This guy works hard. He's a little undersized. He was undersized in college, so you know he's undersized here. But how he makes up for that is that he's smart. He's always in the right spot, and he plays with a motor. He's going to go. He's going to go. So Ben Burr-Kirven looks good. He looks good. I think he's going to make this ball club. He looks good. Okay, next question. How's the nickel battle shaping out? Oh, that last one was from Ben Day, okay? This one's from Robbie Rose Jr. How's the nickel battle shaping out between Blair and Amadi? Right now, I say Blair has the edge. Blair has the edge. Now, naturally, I thought, honestly, that Ugo Amadi was going to have the edge because he played there last year, actually started the season at that nickel spot against the Bengals. So, naturally, I thought that Ugo was probably going to take that spot, but they see something in Blair, and I'm starting to see it too. I've always seen it, but just being familiar with the spot, I felt would give Ugo kind of the nod. But that wasn't it. It's Blair's spot to lose, in my opinion, right now. I'm not a coach. I'm not in the meetings. Okay, I'm just telling you what I saw, and it looks like Blair is playing at a high level. All right, if there's going to be a breakout guy on defense, it's going to be that young man. He's playing fast. He's playing confident, and he's never played the spot before. But it looks comfortable. He's good up against the line. He feels good. It looks good in the box. He looks good in space. He just looks very comfortable out there. It doesn't seem like he's thinking. It seems like he's reacting. And once guys just start reacting, that's when you play fast football. All right, that's when you make plays. That's when you cause turnovers. And that's what you want from that young man. All right, that one's from Robbie Rose Jr. All right. What we got? All right, let me go into some more recent ones. See if you guys hit me one. How's the chemistry on the line looking? We were so close to having some consistency, but there's a lot of new faces. That question is from Jackson253. I like the chemistry. That left side is going to be good, right? You got Dwayne Brown, All-Pro. You got Upati, All-Pro at some point, okay? The right side is where the chemistry needs to start happening. I like the combination between Posick and Damian Lewis right now. All right. Shell looks good as well, but I feel like Shell's the tackle that the Hawks got from the New York Jets. Shell looks good on that right tackle spot as well, but I'm really feeling the Posick Damian Lewis combination. And what makes me believe in that is there's something called combo blocks. Okay. Say they're running a zone right. Okay. everyone on the line is going to step right. All right. If you have a player at the one tech, so if this is the center, all right, there's a defensive player right here, and that's the guard. Okay. The guard, which is Damian Lewis, the center, which is Posick, they have to step right towards that one tech. What Damian Lewis has to do is get his hand on that one tech's shoulder until he feels Posick has it under control. Then he works up to that second level. I saw that happen a few times, and it looked natural. A lot of times it's late, guys stutter a little bit, but no, it looked fluid. Boom, you step right, bam, hand on the shoulder, boom, work to that linebacker. It just looked fluid. So I think the chemistry is good. Honestly, I didn't pay too much attention to Shell because he's a veteran. My eyes just weren't there. I was really focusing on Posick and Damian Lewis. And when I saw that combination happen, I thought to myself, okay, one of the young men starting to get it, Damian Lewis too. Ethan Posick's been around this program for a while, so he kind of understands what's going on here. So I like the chemistry. Now, we got to be ready for whatever. Because unfortunately, guys have gotten banged up on that offensive line. But that's why you count on guys like Jamarco Jones. That's a name that we're not talking about. 73, Jamarco Jones. This guy has played guard. He's played tackle. He's played on the right side. He's played on the left side. Coming out of college, he never even played guard before. He was just a tackle. He might be one of the most versatile guys on that offensive line. And because of the history that this team has as far as injuries on that offensive line, Jamarco Jones might be a guy that you see often. All right. Next question. How the kickers doing? Myers was 2 for 2. 2 for 2. That's all you can ask. 2 for 2. Now, I heard a stat or a concept that fans not being in the stadium will affect how the ball travels, because apparently the crowd knocks down some of the wind. I've never heard this before in my life. But if kickers are talking about it, man, we got to respect it. I've never kicked like that. I kicked in high school, but it was PATs, and I just toe punted that thing. I was never a professional kicker, so we have to listen to those guys. So they're making some adjustments too. They're making some adjustments. So we'll see how that plays out. All right. What we got? What else we got? Are they going to just use Bruce as pass rusher, or will he play LB2? He's going to play both. I think once it comes into obvious passing down, second and long, third and long, I think that's when he's going to be out. They're going to bring a nickel in. They're going to have a smaller package. But I think they're going to use his athleticism. I think he will rush the passer. I think he will be a linebacker. The more you can keep him on the field, the better when it's the right situation, right? You don't want to have 5 receivers out there and you still got Bruce Irvin and you're asking him to guard somebody. I'm sure he can do an okay job at it, but you want your faster guys in the game when those situations come out. So, hey, Bruce Irvin's going to do a little bit of everything, man. A little bit of everything. All right. That was from Adam. This from Stumpy. I hear DJ Giles looking. Stumpy 4834. He's looking good. I mentioned that earlier. He's looking good. I like the kid. All right, I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning because some of you guys put some questions out early, and I want to make sure we get to a couple of those. I do not have an injury update. Sorry about that. Let me see. Scrolling through. Sammy, the NFL has noise restrictions per team. They can't change it when the season starts. Why won't every team have it at 100? I don't know. I mentioned that earlier in this IG live. Pretty much, Sammy's asking, will teams be able to play with the noise as far as crowd noise that they're going to be pumping in? Right now, no, they're not. And why can't they? It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense. Playing at CenturyLink is different than playing in Miami where about 20 people show up. All right. It is what it is. And that's such a big part of the game. That's what makes you guys so special, is that you affect the game. You really do. All right. So my son's distracted me right now. I'm sorry. Let me focus. You guys affect the game. So there shouldn't be restrictions on it, but that's just me. You know how the people are who run this thing. They're really stiff. They got their ties on. They want everything fair. Life ain't fair. Don't make the fan noise fair. All right. Shucks. Okay. Let's see what we got. Who have the kick and punt return has been in practice so far? That's a good question, Bende. There's been a bunch of guys. Kick return, I've seen Homer back there, Freddie Swain, DJ Dallas. Those are the main guys I saw back there. Punt return, I've seen David Moore at punt return. I've also seen DJ Dallas. So that's a young man's job. That's a young man's job. You rarely put your superstar back there to return punts or kicks unless his name is Devin Hester, Dante Hall, Deion Sanders. There's some guys who are the special that you put back there. But on this team, they're going to protect those guys. Okay. See what else we got. Let's see. John Ford says, is Luke Wilson playing? Yes, he's in the mix. He's more of your blocking tight end. Last year, he had 10 targets. I want to say 8 receptions, and 5 of them were for first down. So he's that mismatch, right? He's the guy that you bring in maybe on an obvious rundown, and you play action that, drop it to him. He's not a guy who's going to stretch the field. You guys know that. All right, Luke's been here before, but he is valuable to this team. I love the energy that he brings. All right, let's see what else we got. All right, I'm going back to the most recent ones, see if we got any new ones. Will Anthony Gordon make the 53 roster? This is from Jack Looney. Jack, you know I'm a Coug. You know I'm rooting for my guy, but I just don't think he is. I don't think he is. The Hawks typically carry 2 quarterbacks. All right, it's going to be Russell, it's going to be Geno. For Anthony Gordon to even make the practice squad, he's going to have to get cut. He's going to have to clear waivers, and I don't think that's going to happen. Someone's going to pick him up. The guy has one of the fastest deliveries in all of football. You look at his numbers at WSU, someone's going to take a chance on this young man. So I just don't see it happen unless the Hawks decide to carry 3 quarterbacks, which I just don't see happening. With this shortened off season, guys are going to get injured and in other positions, and you're going to need to fill a spot. So I just don't see them carrying 3 quarterbacks. All right, let's see. I got time for one more question. How is Shaq Griffin looking? Is he playing the ball more, getting more interceptions? Shaq looks good. So we're talking about Shaquille. He's out on the outside. He looks good. I haven't seen too many interceptions here and there in 7-on-7. He had 1 or 2, I believe, but he's staying on top of everything, and he's on everyone's hip. And interceptions are a big stat. I get it. But I'd prefer to have a guy lock down the side, not take that many risks, and sacrifice the interceptions. Now, I think that because he's always on the receiver's hip, because he's so fast, these interceptions are going to start happening. I think they're going to start happening. He just doesn't have to force it, don't press it. But Griffin looks good. Shaquille Griffin looks good. I think he's going to have a solid year. I got time for one more. Let's see. Griffin, Shaq. What do you think about, this is from Vay Flores. What's up, Vay? What do you think about some teams like the Dolphins being able to bring in fans versus not being able to bring in fans? Is there a proposal to even the playing field? What do I think about that? I think that you have to respect each state's situation, right? Now, Florida's situation is crazy. I don't even know why they're trying to bring fans to the game, but you got to listen to their governor. I mean, rules are different. If the governor says, hey, they can bring fans in, then they can bring fans in. Is it fair? Probably not, but each region is handling this thing a little different, and it goes deeper than football, right? It's politics and all that stuff, and we don't talk politics here, okay? But it goes deeper than football. If a governor says they can have fans, then they can have fans, and teams are just going to have to deal with it. Is there a way to even the playing field? I think the way to even the playing field, if we're talking about the Hawks, is allow them to adjust the noise. Adjust the noise. Third down is different than first down on offense and on defense. When someone scores a touchdown, it gets rocking in Century Lane. Let it get rocking. We don't want the golf clap, the Central Lake. Heck no. Man, Beastquake. Y'all had an earthquake going on. Yeah, hopefully you guys watched that game. It was aired this weekend too on Q13. But that is the Hawks' advantage when it comes to the fans, is that you guys do a great job of impacting the game, and I love it. Okay? So that's my time. They only want me on here for 30 minutes. 30 minutes, right? I'll talk to who I need to talk to and see if we can push that up to like 40 minutes. As long as you guys start hitting me with questions, I love it, man. I'll sit here and chop it up with y'all all day. It's been great. I'm having a blast with you guys. I love you guys. The 12s, you guys are killing it. This is Michael Bumpus. 2 a day, 5:30 every day. You got John Clayton at 11, me at 5:30. Come holler at me. Of course, like always, this segment is brought to you by Alaska Airlines. If you're not following me, holler at me. Michael Bumpus 5 on Twitter and on Instagram. Talk to y'all soon. See you tomorrow. Have a good one.